Hello, I'm Philip Duncan, and thank you for joining us for our Monday weather update and our Waitangi Day update, recorded on the 5th of February. And we had that big storm at the weekend. This is it now, well down into the Southern Ocean. So those in the north that had all the gale force winds, you've got high pressure growing there now, so winds are light and the temperatures are going up. Subtropical and Australian airflows coming in. That's why the South Island's warming up today. And over the few days ahead, it's going to move up the eastern side and into northern New Zealand. So we're not done with summer, despite that sort of wintry blast at the weekend that put snow onto the mountains. Now, talking about that storm, really interesting to see all the wind damage in Auckland, all the power cuts, trees were down everywhere, and there was no wind warning or wind watch, no official one at all. It takes us back to our brand new alerting app, because we were warning Vector, the lines company in Auckland, about 4 or 5 days in advance because of our weather data that we've got. And you can also get those wind alerts. They're $6.99 a month, so it's more for the professional people or those who really care about wind and temperatures. But we were warning of that windstorm in Auckland well in advance of the official sources, who put out no warning at all, or not even a watch, which was quite surprising. Let's get into the forecast now. Waitangi Day, see the red line? That measures air thickness. So we always talk about the one up here on the tropical side. That measures the sort of the humidity and the warmth going on. So when you have that red around you, it's usually feeling pretty hot and humid. So I think you're going to notice a number of areas across the country are going to feel that heat coming in, because it's both subtropical and Australian moving in and across the country. And that sort of that northwest flow takes away some of the humidity for the South Island, but it will still be pretty warm around the country, late 20s, getting into the 30s as well as we move through the week. There is another front here from Fiordland all the way to Sydney, bringing in some wet weather. As we get to Wednesday, that front falls apart because it's being smothered on both sides by high pressure all the way along here. It's kind of like trying to dig a hole in the dry white sand, and it just keeps filling back in again. So that front's pretty much short-lived. Pretty hot around the country on Wednesday as we go back to work after the day off tomorrow, Tuesday. So you'll be feeling that heat, especially into the North Island. But it might just be a little bit cooler again for Southland. Sorry, a couple of showers in there as well. It's not the hottest summer in Southland this year, because El Nino high pressure zones like this one, the placement of them encourages a lot of wind out of the Southern Ocean area. Now, as we go through to Thursday, that's exactly what we see. The high not quite over the top of us, so the southwest to westerly flow around it curves in, and so the temperatures are down in Southland again, and a southerly flow across the country. Now, for some areas in summer, a southerly can be very hot, especially if you've got hills or ranges behind you. And so we talk about the nor'wester in Canterbury all the time. Most of us know what that is. So you can get kind of a reverse nor'wester, the same weather type pattern, when you get those southerlies or southeasterlies, just depends on where you are. So a bit of a southerly change coming through there. Low pressure remains up in the tropics, but still no tropical storms. By the end of the week, finally, high pressure is actually over us. So that will calm the winds down for the South Island. It will also warm things up a little bit for you in the south. A couple of showers here for the eastern side of the North Island, and then this big sort of easterly flow all the way to Australia. But this high pressure belt's also keeping that low in the Coral Sea further to the north and not turning into a cyclone. It is in the models, it's been in the models for about 2-3 weeks now, and it's there for another couple of weeks. It is not moving anywhere at the moment. So it only takes one of these systems to sort itself out. Now, this one out to the east, that may become a tropical cyclone out near Tahiti maybe. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we go into Saturday, in the New Zealand area, that high moves out. It's over the Chatham Islands. So we've got a warm nor'wester behind it coming through. But yes, another cold front approaching Southland, Otago, and Fiordland by the time we get into the afternoon, by the looks of it. And into Australia, the whole eastern side here getting easterly winds. So not as hot as it could be, although it will be hotter over in Perth with that windy nor'easter out of the desert. So as we go through to Sunday, New Zealand has this cooler change coming through. As that cold front comes in, it's a south to southwesterly wind, so it'll be a little bit cooler at first, but then again, as the sun comes back out again, that southerly flow could be quite warm for those who have land or mountains to the south of you. If you're directly facing that airflow, it will be cooler, like Fiordland and the west coast, Taranaki. You'll notice those temperatures down just a little bit for you, and some welcome wet weather coming into the capital or Wairarapa, but don't get your hopes up. May not be that much. The fronts do fall apart at this time of the year as they move up the country. So we're certainly into a drier phase of weather for now. Now, tomorrow is Waitangi Day in New Zealand, right across New Zealand and Aotearoa. I won't be back again till Wednesday. We're taking the day off, so we have no Pacific Island forecast out for Tuesday, but we will see you again on Wednesday morning with our next update. Have a great Waitangi Day.